477.
With the power of Tandem HR, you are in the fast lane on Main Street with Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs. Now, the champion of networking, the advocate of jobs, the guru of business, your host, Shalom Klein.
We are all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship and business. We talk a lot about business here. You're on with Get Down to Business, and I'm your host, Shalom Klein. Remember, you can always download podcasts from Get Down to Business on my website at shalomklein.com. And while you are there, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Shalom Klein. It's going to be a jam-packed week of content and information you will not want to miss. It's a live show. That's right. You could call us at 312-642-5600, 312-642-5600. We've got a full studio, some fantastic guests. You're going to learn about some interesting companies doing interesting things, talk a little bit about current events, and we're going to talk about some great organizations that are being benefited by some upcoming programs coming up in our Chicago small business community. So that's right. You're listening to Get Down to Business. And first up on the program, I'm thrilled to be joined by our returning guest, Tom Miroballi.
Hello, hello.
It's great to have you here, Tom. Last time we had you on there, we talked a little bit about generally about your business, and I guess a little bit about why you're so passionate about what you do. But since that time, there's been a lot about your industry in the news, hasn't there?
Correct.
Yeah. So there have been, for some of our listeners that have not been following, there's a bill that's out there. Who knows if it will move anywhere, but a health care bill. What are your thoughts on the matter?
I hope it does move a lot further than it is, because right now the current plan is imploding and prices are going through the roof, and people just can't take this. This is just too much. So
we're out of the period of open enrollment. Bottom line, there is, many people call it Obamacare, but the Affordable Care Act and their open enrollment ended March 31st, I believe.
Correct.
Okay, so right now, for somebody that's looking for insurance, what options do they have?
Well, there is a special enrollment provision through the Affordable Care Act, and that is if you get divorced, from the decree of the divorce, you've got 30 days to get into an Affordable Care Act plan. If you have a baby, you've got 30 days after the birth of the child, or if you change your zip code and move, you've got 30 days from when you actually start residing in a different zip code. That's what's called a special enrollment provision. Outside of that, you're going to have to wait till October 15th of this year, 2017, to enroll into a health insurance plan.
So, Tom, pardon my ignorance over here, but for folks that might be listening, our listening area is beyond Illinois. Tell us a little bit about the differences between insurance coverage in multiple states. And I know there's been a lot of talk in the debate about healthcare, about the healthcare bills regarding purchasing coverage across state lines. What is insurance in Indiana any cheaper than Illinois?
Some spots it is, depending upon where your zip code is. And if you live in Indiana, it is a lot cheaper. If you live in Wisconsin, it's cheaper. If you live in Michigan, it's cheaper.
And currently not possible to purchase an Indiana plan while you live there.
Not unless you live there.
Okay.
And I can't sell it to you, so don't buy it.
Okay.
Wait a minute, don't move. Wait a minute, stay here.
Okay, well, interesting. So, Tom, you've been busy. Tell us a little bit about some of the major plans that you've been focused on and some of the I guess where the peak interest is right now.
Well, the peak interest, where I'm getting a lot of calls from, is that I offer plans that are not in compliance with the Affordable Care Act, as well as plans that are in compliance. But the plans that I'm offering are short-term major medical plans, and these plans do not carry maternity coverage, whereas the Affordable Care Act, it's a mandate that you have to have maternity coverage. So I'm dealing with prices that are substantially different.
Give us some examples.
Well, I've got, a 48-year-old woman who's a smoker up on the north side. She purchased a plan, 100% plan, $2,500 deductible on a short-term major medical policy for $183 a month. If she went and had an Affordable Care Act plan, that's $675 a month. So a substantial difference.
So why wouldn't somebody do it? What does out of compliance mean?
Okay, well, compliance means that you have to have an Affordable Care Act plan which has all the mandates, maternity, sickness riders, pre-existing condition riders, et cetera, et cetera. Those are starting to get very, very costly. Okay, now, when we have on a short-term major medical plan, there's like 7 underwriting questions. So not everybody can get the plan. If I have an insulin-dependent diabetic, you cannot get the short-term major medical plan. That is a pre-existing condition. If you go with the Affordable Care Act, you have insulin-dependent diabetes, you can get insurance.
Was this missed in the bill? Because clearly there's a need, and clearly you're addressing that need. Are there consequences to you as I guess the person selling these plans, or what's going to happen if when people file their tax returns? Hopefully, people have filed over the past few months, and perhaps it's reported that they don't have a plan that's compliant with the Affordable Care Act.
Well, the question on the plan is, do you have health insurance? It does not say do you have the Affordable Care Act? Blah blah blah. So, but to be rock bottom and just covering everything, you are susceptible to a 2.5% penalty of your adjusted gross income, or $695 per adult, for not having an Affordable Care Act program.
Interesting. Okay. So give us some other examples of folks that have benefited from this innovative and creative approach to ensuring that they have coverage, and they definitely can check off that box that, yes, indeed, they have coverage,
yes,
and they're getting the lowest price possible.
True.
Okay,
right.
so
higher deductible, lower the price.
Okay, so you mentioned our smoker friend from the North Side. Who else?
Well, one of the things that I really have to tell you is that as you get older on the Affordable Care Act, it's really going to go up a little bit higher. Now, this person is a 58-year-old female smoker, and she's at $900 under the Obamacare plans. Under the short-term major medical plans, she's at $270 per month. So you can kind of see right off the bat, the 48-year-old was $183 on the short term. This one is 58, and she's at $269. But they both tell me, we can't have children anymore. So why do I want maternity coverage? That's a big selling point.
So you're getting the plan that you need, nothing more, nothing less. You're getting the coverage that you need, but you're not getting the coverage that you don't need. So you're not gonna pay a premium for that.
That is correct,
Tom. So I view you, again. We're talking with Tom Miroballi, an expert on. We're talking a lot about the medical conditions, and we're talking a lot about insurance. Tom, I know you sell Blue Cross Blue Shield, but I know that you are an independent broker, meaning that you are able to work with anybody. And again, as you've been saying, find the right solution for everybody. And I view you as an expert on the subject, which is why I want to ask you again to help us demystify the terms that are being thrown around as this debate has been going on around the country. There's a particular focus on states like here in Illinois.
Sure.
And there's been terms thrown around like high-risk pools and states that will be participating. Explain some of those things and what choices our governor, Bruce Rauner, has to make, as well as governors in positions like his.
Well, for Illinois, let's tap on Illinois right off the bat. And I've been an advocate of having all of the state, county, municipal workers, including the tollway, including the state police, municipal police, fire people, all of that, placing them on health savings accounts. It's a high deductible plan, just like the individual health, the individual health.
And through your
plans.
office, you sell health saving account PPOs
all the time.
Okay,
98% of my business are health savings accounts. But my point is that all of these people, their jobs, they do wonderful jobs. That's not the point. It's just that the taxpayers is paying the bill,
right,
for the health insurance and the benefit. Let's call it like that. So. Some of these people can have a $250 deductible, $500 deductible, because the group plans, not individual, these group plans are not in compliance with the Affordable Care Act. So these people can have themselves a $250 deductible, a $500 deductible. Most of them have over 9 people in their group, so they have to have maternity coverage for everybody. But we're paying substantial rates, like $1,100, $1,200 a month per person for a 50-year-old fireman or firewoman and Chicago Police Department personnel. The Chicago Teachers Union, I've had a commercial. Actually, you just aired the commercial. that if the teachers union ended up just going with the health savings account, I could save hundreds of millions of dollars, taxpayer dollars, by having all of these people go on health savings accounts.
Sure. And Tom, we're running out of time, but
Yes.
but you have mentioned to me in the past that these health savings accounts, which again, as you said, is a huge part of the business that you do for good reason, because it allows for voluntary contributions that are tax-free and in full compliance with the IRS.
Correct.
And tax deductible, tax deferred. It's all good. So lots of good options. Tom Miroballi, I want to make sure our listeners know how to reach you to talk more about the creative and innovative solutions that your office has to offer and schedule a chat with you.
Yeah, it's they can reach me at 630-863-3477. But one of the things that I've been also working on are small groups, because you have to remember that when you get into
Pull them together.
Yeah, once you get into these individual plans, a lot of doctors and hospitals will not take the individual plans. They won't be in the network. When you go into a group plan, you're going to have a wider choice of doctors and hospitals.
Lots of solutions available. Our friend
Yes.
Tom Miroballi, an expert, his website, healthinsuranceplanschicago.com, or give him a call, 630-863-3477, 630-863-3477. Coming up on Get Down to Business, we will be talking with Chad Broderick of the John Buck Company about an upcoming event taking place in just a very short amount of time, just a few weeks, June 15th. You won't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
How can you